y'all, this is Susan from SusanMakes.com, and today I'm here to show you how to make a card with my gated flap card. It's a fun fold card. I have a video that I'll link down below to know how to put this together. But today we're going to create an actual card with this. And not only is it going to be a regular card, but it's also going to have a little pocket inside to be able to slip in a gift card. So I'm actually making this for my son's birthday. So let me show you some of the things that we'll be using. You're going to need some black cardstock, of course. I am using It's a Party 6x6 pad by Pink and Main. And for the stamps, I am using this stamp set, the Super Duper stamp set from Stampin' Up. Really cute. So let me show you what the card looks like, and then I will go into the instructions. We'll go down to my work surface and I'll show you how to put it all together. So this is the card. It has a sleeve on it. The top has this little cute little embossed, it's not really embossed, this is used with my die cut machine. Makes this pretty little, I don't know, messy kind of stitched line on there. So the card looks like this, and we're going to open it up, and there's the first flap, and it says time to celebrate. We have some balloons with some baker's twine hanging down, and then on the inside we have the sentiment on the inside, and it is on a wobble, so it wobbles. And then it has a pocket right here for putting in a gift card. My son is of the age, he's going to be, 26 or, 26 this year, I think. He's born in 93. So 26 or 27. Don't make me do the math right now. But it's for an adult birthday card. And sometimes they're hard. Kids' birthday cards are really simple to do, but I think sometimes that adult cards can be a little hard, and masculine cards for me are really, really hard. I don't know why. I just am personally drawn to the more frilly girly stuff, and so masculine cards are a struggle for me. So this one I was really pleased with the way that it turned out, and I think this will be really cute, and I will, as I said, I will link the how to make the card base down below for the video for that. Alright, so let me turn this camera around so you can see my work surface, and we'll get started getting this put together. Alright, let's get started making this really nice card. I love the way that this turned out. Let me show you one more time. It has a band that goes off. It's gated, and then it has the extra flap with a pocket for putting in a gift card. And we have a little wiggler here. So we have all of these kind of things coming together. Oops, fold it right. All right, so we're going to start with one of the gated fold card bases. I will put down a link for how to make this with all the information. So we're going to start off with this. Now I am using the It's a Party 6x6 paper pad by Pink and Main. I really like the papers that are in this. They're really fun. And the stamp set is from Stampin' Up. It is called Super Duper. And those are what I am using. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to be putting on our colored paper, which I have already cut. And let me tell you what we are using. Let's see, where's my black piece of paper? I may have to cut another one because I cannot find it. Isn't that how it goes, y'all? Oh, that's probably it right there. All right. Okay, so let's look at the paper that you're going to need. I've already got it pre-cut. I'm getting my measurements here so I can tell you exactly what we are using. Okay, for the flaps, for the gate, we're using two different patterns. We're going to be using this Happy Birthday pattern here, separated, and we're going to be using this. And these are cut to 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. So let's go on and get those installed, or I don't know why I always say installed. That's, to me, sounds like I'm, you know, installing air conditioning or installing a dishwasher or something. But we're just going to get these flaps put on there. I'm going to start with the exterior flaps. See if my glue is going to cooperate. Yeah. I like this card because it's really simple, but it looks like you spent a whole lot of time on it, and it really doesn't take any real time to do it, because once you get what you're doing done and you know the measurements to cut the paper, it goes together really, really quickly, which I like. So y'all have to tell me, how are y'all doing being shut up in the houses? What are y'all doing to keep busy? I would like to say that all I've done in here is card make, but that's not the truth. There's other things that I've had to be doing that I would rather be card making. But life is as it is. We have to do other things. We can't always be doing the fun stuff. But we've been working on lots of projects here at the house. Worked on our yard, planted some rose bushes that we've been trying to get planted. My husband's really trying to keep busy. He has PTSD, and being cooped up is not always the best thing for him. But it is what it is. We're trying to follow the rules and stay indoors. But we have some projects going on. We're going to be painting the inside of the house. And he's going to be painting the trim on the outside of the house. And thank goodness for Amazon. We've been able to order some things. We've got some new lights to put up and everything. Okay, so for the card center, this part right here, we're going to be going with the stripe fabric here, or stripe paper, excuse me, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. This is just a standard mat size cut, and we're just going to get some glue on it and get this glued down. Just like that. That's looking good. Now these two pieces are cut to, let's see, 2 1/4 by 3 7/8. Remember, we've trimmed the width down a little bit so the flap doesn't interfere with the gates. So we're going to get these glued down to the interior. This one's going to go onto the inside of the card, and I'll share complete instructions and everything on my blog, so you can see, you know, the cuts and all of that, so you can just grab that. I may try to just make a PDF so y'all can just download that. So there's that flap, and then the final flap goes on like this. We've almost got the card put together. Once you figure out the measurements, which that required me doing a little bit of math to get the measurements down. Alright, so this is how the card looks closed. Now we also have the little flap that goes on the inside that is for the gift card. And on top of that, we are going to use a piece of this paper, which I need to trim down real quick. It is cut to 3 1/4. 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. Just to kind of add a little bit of color on that pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this to the pocket, and then we'll glue the pocket onto the front of the card, and then the card base is completed. Now it'll just be decorating after we get this one done. I love this liquid glue because it allows me to shift things around a little bit to make sure it is as straight as I can possibly make it. Because if there's a way to get something on crooked, I will find it. So I just went through 3 sides of the pocket with glue, and then I'm just going to glue it into place and try to line it up the best that I can. Shift if I need to. Okay, so the pocket is on there. So now we are all ready to start to decorate. Now, I can't remember what I measured this to. Let me check this. I didn't write this one down. This is 1 inch. Okay, so we're going to cut out of this black cardstock. We're going to cut a piece that is 11 inches long, and we're going to cut it by 1 inch. And this is just going to make the little belly band for the card. We can just set that aside for the time being because we're not really going to be using it yet. And let's get busy with the stamping. So I'm going to be using my Misty. I'm going to set that card aside for a minute. And I'm going to get all of the stamping done so we can move on to the other parts of the card, getting it all put together. Misty. All right, so we just have a piece of white paper. We're going to make the image for the belly band first. I'm using, like I said, this stamp set called Super Duper from Stampin' Up. This is the first stamp we'll be using. Really cute. Very kind of a masculine stamp. We're going to be using Pacific Point. It's a Stampin' Up color. I don't sell Stampin' Up. I just use it. So we're going to stamp this in the blue. And it actually stamped really well. I think I'm going to go one more time to make it a little bit crisper. Yeah, that looks better. Don't worry about the little mark there. We're going to be using something to take care of that. Let me get my stamp chamois. Is it wet? Yep. Sometimes it dries out, so I want to make sure. Get the ink off of that really well. I try to clean my stamps as I use them. It saves me a little bit of time in the long run. Alright, so we've got that cut out. Then we're going to go in with the Time to Celebrate. We're going to be using this punch for that. We're just going to go in there and punch out the tag. And on that, sorry about that noise, y'all, the big bang. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. This one is going to just simply say Time to Celebrate. Where is my, there it is. So we're just going to line that up on here. And put these smaller little magnets down to hold it. I think it's a little crooked. Looks good. And we are going to stamp that also with the blue. This is, again, Pacific Point blue, I think is the name of it. So we've stamped that. We can set that side now. Then we're going to stamp the big birthday blessing here. Tear that off. It's a little bit long for the Misty. Get the ink off of my stamp. All right. just put that on there. This is also going to be stamped in the blue. Ink that up. I'm going to stamp it again. I love my Misty because I would never be able to get this lined up if I used a block to be able to stamp it a second time, because that's just me. I am not the most coordinated about things like that. Okay, so we've got all of the stamping done except for the balloons now. Get the ink off of that. Alright, that didn't get the ink off. That looks gross. Let's see if that's better. That's better. Alright, so now we're just going to stamp the balloons. I'm done with my Misty for the time being because we're just going to use a block for the balloons, because we're cutting them out anyway and using scraps. I try to kind of get all of these kind of things done like this at one time because I think that it makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to stamp 2 of these round balloons. One is going to be in green, which is going to be using the Granny Apple Green, and the red one is a Lovely Lipstick. Those are the colors that we'll be using. So we're going to start with the green one. There's the green. I'm going to stamp off the colors. And then we're going to go in and do the red. Oops. So there's our red and green balloon. And then we're going to go in with the Mango Melody. You could use any ink pads that you want for this. Like I said, I just happen to have the Stampin' Up. Again, I don't sell. I am not very good. I'm not a salesperson. I've tried selling with different companies for different things over the years, and I have just learned that it's just better for me to buy from somebody than to try to sell it myself. I just soon pay the extra bit of money than have to buy from somebody else. I mean, try to sell it myself. I always end up spending more money than I ever made when I tried selling things. So that's the reason why I don't ever really sell anything on here. I might do affiliate links, but that's as close to selling as I get. And I hope that the affiliate links that actually they sell themselves, and you just buy the products that you happen to like, which is fine. I don't know how I got on that tangent, but anyway. Okay, so we are going to be using a die set. This one from Gina Marie Designs. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I will link it in the description below. We're going to be using this middle one right here. This cuts out and it does the kind of stitched look around the outside. It's kind of a wonky. I think actually that may be what it's called. Like a wonky oval stitch or something. I don't know. But I'll put it in the comments. So that's what it's going to look like. So we're going to pull out my Big Shot. Let me turn it that way so the handle is facing towards me. And we're going to put this on here like this. And get this die set out. These are brand new. I just got these in the mail. So I had to play with them. I haven't even gotten them put up for storage yet. Okay, so these come with 2 separate pieces. This piece just does the stitch, and then this piece does the cutting. So I generally try to get this over evenly the image, and then I try to get the cutting part of it over it evenly as well. That looks pretty good. I'm going to just take a little piece of purple tape, if I can find the end, there it is, just to hold this down. So I'm just going to get that to hold those down. And then I'm just going to run it through my Big Shot. Sorry, I know the camera shakes a little bit when I do this. Alright, so we've got that. Pull that out. So you have the finished piece. Get the die apart and get this guy out of the way. So I'm just going to take that purple tape off. And I'm just going to attach this back to the board here, the little package it came through with, and put that out of the way. Put it back in the package. Sorry, y'all. I try to put things up as I use them because then I don't end up with as big of a mess on my desk. Notice I say as big of a mess. Alright, so that is done. Okay, so this is going to attach to the band, but we're going to do that a little bit later. Okay, so let's work on these other pieces. This one's already cut. We need to cut out these balloons, and I need to cut out the happy birthday. So I'm going to fancy cut out these balloons. Not anything hard here, just kind of fancy cut them out. I may have to go and trim that one up a little bit. Let's see, yeah. That's better. So we're just going to get these all cut out. How do y'all usually do your cards? I always kind of like to do steps, like I do all of the stamping at one time. Especially if it's a card I've already done before and I'm making multiples of, I figure out a way to get it kind of streamlined so it goes together quickly. Because it makes sense to me to cut out all this stuff and stamp all this stuff and get it done, and then you can just get it attached to the card. And you know, if I was making multiples of this card, I would have stamped out all of the stamped items that I needed. Then I would come in here and I would have done all of these that I needed to do. Then I would have come in here and cut out all the balloons. That's just me. Kind of make an assembly line. So I'm using the same steps until I get it all done. And so this one I'm actually going to just use my trimmer to cut it out. I try to line it up. Let's see. Get in there. Where it's even. And it's not going to be perfectly straight, but I try to get it as straight as I possibly can. And I'm just going to cut across like this, where I see the lettering through. I start to see the lettering through. That one's needs to lower just a hair on this side. There we go. Hopefully that will make sense. You can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of lining up the, see if you're under the camera. I try to line up the stamped image to like this line right there, and that's where I cut it. So there's that. All right, so we've got everything all cut out. We just need to get this put together to assemble it. So we're going to start with this first part here with the balloons. And we're going to use some blue and white baker's twine. I'm going to cut off 3 pieces. It's going to be slightly longer. I just want to make sure that there's enough. I'm just going to cut out 3 pieces. Okay, so we got our 3 pieces done. So what I do is I take some of these glue dots, find the end, there's one, and we're going to start with the red. And I just put a little bit of the glue dot down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. And I just use that to attach the baker's twine to the balloon. And I'm going to do that on all of these. Yellow. Just going to be at the bottom of the balloon. Just enough of a glue to hold the string on. Here's another piece of string. Just attach that to the back of the balloon. And the same with this one. Get hold of it. There we go. My fingers are not wanting to be cooperative this morning. All right, so I'm going to add, I want this raised up a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to the back of the balloons. Just a little bit, you don't have to put a lot. Just a little square, just enough to kind of raise it up off the page. We're also going to raise the sentiment off of the page. Okay, so we got those. Yellow, red, and green. All right, so I'm going to attach these to the card. That looks about a good place right there. Yellow, kind of poke it up a little bit more, and then the green. Do it like that. Okay, so I kind of pinch these in the middle so they're going down, and we're just going to put a big strip of the foam tape onto the back of the label here, so it is nice and raised up as well. Let's see, right about there. And then I'm just going to trim the ends of the baker's twine, just like that. So we have the balloons on there. I need to get my little wobble for the inside of the card. Now these wobbles, they're from Hampton Art, Action Wobbles Mini Action Springs. I picked these up off of Amazon. I don't know if you can buy them in stores. I mean, I've never seen one in store, but I buy them off of Amazon. I don't use them very often, but I like to use them for something like this because they're just fun. Let me show you how these work. So there's adhesive on both sides. As you can see, there's a spring on the inside. Oops, get in here in the camera. And so that's what causes the wobble. So I always attach the solid side to the sentiment, and then this side I mount to the inside of the card. So I always start by first of all mounting it to the back of the sentiment or whatever the image is that you want to wobble, and I just do that, line that up on the back just like so, and then I take off the paper that's on the back and I attach it to the card wherever it is that I want it. So I want it kind of right. I'm going to actually move it up a little bit so the card is easier to get in. All right, so we have our wobble. Place for our cards. Oops, I always want to fold it wrong. So how cute is this? So you're really opening it up and there's time to celebrate. And then the little wobble with the gift card inside of it. Really, really simple. So one of the last things that we're going to do is make the belly band. Now that everything is all stuck on there, we know the thickness. I'm going to go on there with the band and I just line it up where it's even, and I kind of pressure, put a little bit of pressure on it to make sure that it's kind of, you can see where it's supposed to fold. We're just going to fold that Oops, sorry y'all. Sorry y'all, I forgot to put my phone on silent so you got to hear my annoying text message sound. Okay, so we're just going to, I put a little bit of a square here, and then on this side I put a little bit of a square here so that it's good and glued down. Just hold it into place. Some of the glue is going to come off. Then I'm going to put a strip of the double-sided tape onto the back of this front part of the belly band. I just do one strip is plenty. Move that out of the way. And peel that off if it wants to be. And then I turn that over, and we're going to make sure that the belly band is straight. Put that down on the belly band. And then that, of course, just goes onto the card, like so. Get it lined up here. Got too far on that side. I got it good and tight. So it's being difficult going on. There we go. We'll need to loosen that belly band up. I will probably make a different belly band just to be on the safe side, because this one is really, there it goes. Once you get it on there, it goes on there pretty good. See, it slides on and off pretty good. So the only other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some clear Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the glimmer to the balloons, just to a little bit of a couple of the things that are on a couple of the elements, just to give it a little bit of a glimmer. I really like Wink of Stella. This is one of the things I probably use the most often on my cards, because it really just gives a nice little shimmer. It's not overly shimmery, especially since this is a guy card. I'm going to go over here on the birthday, and I'm just going to go around the word birthday with the Wink of Stella. I just like that little bit of glimmer, that little bit of glittery, reflects the light back. It gives it, I think it makes it just a little bit more special than just a plain old card. So there is our card. And I took the belly band off. Let's see if I can get it back on. I may have to adjust that one to get it to slide on and off a little bit easier. I got that one a little bit tight, I think. But once I get it on, it slides well. I promise I'm not going to make y'all, subject y'all to this, watching me try to put this on here for the next 20 minutes. So we're not going to do that right now. See if the other one will fit. Nope, they're both really tight. Okay, so I'm just going to have to make a new belly band for this one that's a little bit looser. That happens sometimes. But there you go. That is the way the card looks. It's really cute. I hope that this video was helpful to you. I will put the cut sheet or the cut measurements for the pattern paper in on my blog and down below. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know, and we will see you next time.